All right, it's recording.
Yeah, I always look for that one, man.
You gonna do it?
Let's see. Oh, he's going.
You gonna? All right.
What?
Huh?
What?
I'm Jared, by the way.
I'm Josh. Nice to be here.
In case you don't know, I'm sick and tired of kicking off these shows with people dying, and it's just been one of those routines that I hope we break out of. Tom Petty passed away last Monday night, and Facebook and Google and everybody else did one of those really kind of mean things where it came across about 7:30ish. Oh, Tom Petty passed away. I'm riding home. Oh, maybe he didn't. And you get home. Oh yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, that's.
So y'all don't do that.
Yeah, that's the way I heard. Don't do me like that.
Don't do me like that.
That's how I heard it too. It's like, well, they were reporting that Petty had passed, but he hasn't. But he has. Like, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because
So
God knows we got to be 1st.
Mhm.
Who cares if we're right? And that's a stupid thing to get frustrated about, but
first and wrong is still first.
it's still first. Absolutely, man. The no bad press includes the writing they do apparently anymore.
So I mean, and it's just one of those kind of deals where a 66-year-old dying isn't necessarily a shock, but it still just was kind of unexpected, to say the least.
It sucks, absolutely.
It's like, was there any type of sickness or anything like that? And I hate anytime there's a death of a celebrity and the cause of death is, cardiac arrest. Like, well, that doesn't tell you anything. Everybody's heart stops, which always seems to mean like, well, there was something harder involved. And so I don't care. He's still gone. It just sucks. I mean, just don't report it that way.
Yeah, it's just the implication that so long as you say that, it's like, we might be back here tomorrow with another story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear you. I totally hear you. That junk is old.
We're gonna milk this one.
Yeah. And it's for some reason it makes me think if you're talking about Duff McKagan and Chris Jericho, and that was something in that podcast I thought was funny. Was Duff talking about going to the doctor and how I know they're going to look up my nose and freak out, and it's like, I did a lot of cocaine back in the day, but I don't now. It's like you have to disclose these things to people. When rock and roll stars have problems internally, there's usually decades of abuse in there. It doesn't mean that Petty went out on a bender, and you know what I mean? It's like just stuff like that. But I'm with you. It's just almost not even the implication. It's the hope that we'll get to come back and talk about this junk. That stuff gets frustrating.
We
man.
love a scandalous story.
Yeah, man.
So it was just a crazy weekend last weekend with you had that going on, getting ready for OJ to come out. Getting out of prison, everything will be right with the world once he gets out. I give it about within this season. I don't know if the season's currently going or if they're getting ready to shoot it. Or if within the next season or two, he will be on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, reuniting with his daughters. That's just the way it's going to be. So I got that to look forward to. Yeah. That'll be awesome.
That'll have that to look forward to.
So. But all kind of crazy stories like that going on this week. And, I don't really try to, use this show or this channel to spout anything politically. And you shouldn't either, everybody down there. But the stuff that was going on in Las Vegas, I just really never have never understood until the past several years just how powerful the NRA is. Like, what will it take to get stuff like this done away with and not happening again? Just a few years ago, there was, the congresswoman in Arizona walks up and gets plugged in her freaking head. She still don't talk right. And even the Congress people and Republicans, Democrats, doesn't matter. They're also bought and paid for. Even that doesn't change the way you feel about guns in this country. There was a baseball game practice that was talking about practice. People shooting people at practice. A guy walks on to in Washington D.C. baseball practice and starts firing people up, and people are still like, "No, I think it's okay. I think guns are all right." I feel like, how bought and paid for can you be? Jesus Christ. So, what went down in Las Vegas, I just think it was just craziness. And, what do you do when the people that can make the changes are still like, no, we're not doing it. So,
There's a
forget it. Screw them.
quote that I thought was funny from Vince Vaughn, which it's attributed to Vince Vaughn. I say that because it's an internet quote, so who the hell knows?
Yeah.
I ain't pinning it on you, Vince. But it's just one of those things that you can read and people don't really seem to get what it's saying. And he's like, America has a mental health crisis masquerading as a gun control crisis. Yeah, gun control's overrated. You tell them, Vince. Well, first things first, I thought we weren't supposed to listen to celebrities talk about politics. So I tend to not listen
When they
to
agree with me, it's okay.
Exactly. I'm cool with just not listening to anybody, no matter how much I like their politics, and that includes Vince Vaughn. But the thing that's funny about that is, you think he's right? Do you agree with him that it's about mental health issues in this country? Because if you do, that's greenlighting socialized health care. Didn't think about that, did you?
Jesus.
You didn't think about that, did you? Because if what you want to do is treat people in this country that have mental health problems, you are green lighting free health care for everyone in this country for life. Didn't think about that, did you? Didn't think about that, but it doesn't matter anyway. It's just, as long as we get to keep them going, it's fine. It's just what it is. It's just what it is because nobody cares to change it.
It's the same argument that people have made and had since since the beginning of time. I don't know, but there are always going to be people. If you want something bad enough, you're going to get it. There's no law that's going to keep you from it. But why would you need to produce a gun like that?
Yeah, why
That
are you making
the only purpose is to kill a bunch of mofos
That's always
at
been
once.
that's always been the thing that frustrates me about like the Second Amendment and right to bear arms and la-di-da and stuff like that. First things first, I find it fascinating. It's a very interesting commentary on what's actually important in this country. That it is the one and only material possession spelled out in the Constitution, and that's what we argue over more than anything else in the Constitution is that thing they say I can have.
Yeah.
If the Constitution was written in the 1970s instead of the 1770s, what would be in there? Do you not think that shelter and a motor vehicle would be in there? Because I probably would be as far as essentials. The other thing that drives me nuts is, the Second Amendment was put in place so you can rise up and fight tyrannical governments. Yeah, that's when they were using the same gunpowder you're using.
Yeah.
That hasn't been the case for a long time. And my other thing is this. If that's your argument for keeping the Second Amendment in place,
local law enforcement.
if you despise the federal government as much as you say you do, what the hell are you waiting for?
Yeah.
If it's a fair fight and you think, well, this is what we have these guns
Have
for,
at
is
it,
to
brother.
take over the tyrannical government, you don't think, and I'm not talking about Donald Trump, I'm talking about modern America, as in 1930s onward, 1920s onward. I don't think you actually believe that. I think it is what it is, man. It's in place. That should be your, hey, it's what it says, man. Okay. But basically my thing with a lot of things going on in this country are this. When the backlash comes, and it will, when the backlash comes, I don't want to hear no crybaby stuff. I don't want to hear no whining. I don't want to hear no fussing. Basically what I mean is this. This is as political as I'm going to get, but as a white boy, let me tell you. When non-white people are the overwhelming majority in this country, and things start going downhill for folks that look like me, you ain't going to hear no crybaby shit from here. You ain't going to get it. Y'all can whine and cry all you want to, but when you're on top, people take note. So when they give it back to you in spades, I don't want to hear no crying.
Yeah.
It's not like we helping anybody out. So when it comes to, you see what I mean? And that's human history, man. That's the way people have always been. That's the way it always goes. Just don't cry. When you're the majority, don't think everything is sunshine and roses, because you could be the minority, and then when you are, then you maybe we find some things out. Maybe we don't like it so much. I just hate stuff like that. I despise it. And that's why I hate stuff like Las Vegas, particularly. It's just ridiculous. I hate stuff like that. But the intent, like you're talking about, what that weapon is designed for.
It's like, come on. I mean,
You need training to operate those things, you know. Doesn't just work. It's like saying that because you're 16 years old, you should be licensed to fly a fighter jet. It's not at all the same thing.
Yeah.
You can't even, it's not like because you're 16 you can be authorized to operate any motor vehicle. I don't even mean like heavy transport stuff. I mean like certain high performance vehicles. They're not just going to let you get in.
One license doesn't allow you to do everything.
Exactly, and that's the thing. That stuff is silly. Things like that are very frustrating. But you mentioned that about like what that's designed for. I totally agree with you, man. That's always been like, there's no need for that.
Yeah.
Having a pistol in your house to defend your family, having a rifle because you like to take it in the woods and shoot things to eat them. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing, man. But that's not what anybody's talking about.
Yeah, this is another level.
Absolutely. You ain't eating nothing you killed with that thing.
Yeah.
So for real.
And you know, people have made all kind of comments, and people gotten fired over some of the comments they've made, rightfully so. Some CBS executive was basically looking at what was going on in Vegas that weekend, looking at who was on stage, and just said, well, those people probably didn't vote the way I did or how I wanted them to, so they deserve to die. It was the long and short of what she tweeted, and she thought she was like shocked, like, what? Fired? So you're crazy for saying stuff like that and even thinking that, let alone thinking, oh, this will be okay to tweet.
You have to understand that the burning Malia Obama in effigy on the White House grounds, that's totally acceptable because those people don't work for CBS News. But you can't look at things like that and want that to be the new normal.
Yeah.
You can't just do that stuff. I know that Jamel won one for us because she took a shot at the guy. You're not Jamel Hill.
Yeah.
Jamel Hill's not a real journalist. She works at ESPN, for Pete's sake.
Yeah.
It's things like that are going to happen. And that's my problem is, as long as you eat it, that's okay. My brother and I were discussing Colin Kaepernick today. My favorite thing about Cap has always been, have you ever heard him complain about not being in the NFL?
No.
And he has never once. Oh, it cost him, didn't it? He has never once complained about the cost.
I'll move on and do something else.
It's called being legit.
Yeah.
It's called actually thinking that this is what I think, and whatever it costs me, that's what it costs me. Mm-hmm. Pretty great. That's my favorite thing about the guy, because the details of what's going on with Colin Kaepernick, going back to what it is that I look like, I have no authority to speak on whatsoever. Yeah. That's for me to listen to him talk about.
How's Geno Smith going to be a backup and Colin Kaepernick's not?
You know my answer to that. You know exactly what I think it is.
I'm not hypothetically just saying like it's does somebody deserve to be or whatever? It's like, yeah, it'd be nice. I think you'd think it'd be nice to go back and play, but I don't have to have it.
Him not fussing about it's my favorite thing, and
yeah,
I'm sure you guys.
Do I think I'm better than a lot of those people? Yeah.
He lets everybody say that for him.
Yeah,
he can it's great because that's the whole point.
I'm trying to say it for him.
Yeah, the whole point is, it's not politics; it's economics. It's very much better. It's better for the league to have that distraction than to have him in the league. That's why he's not in the league. People can say it's politics. People can say it's whatever they want to. Mm-hmm. It's not true. It's better to have him over here. Mm-hmm. It's like CM Punk in the WWE. It's better for him not to be there because now they can make money off of him.
Both of them.
They can make money off of him without saying, well, it's not good for Punk because he's going to go broke in that lawsuit, but it's better for WWE because they can make money off of him without even saying his name. Mm-hmm. Pretty useful. It's a pretty good spot to be in.
Mm-hmm. So and it just makes you wonder how much. Speaking of the NFL, getting into that and talking about the other crazy story with the whole Cam Newton thing, like how much was he coached to get on, staring down the barrel of a camera after practice? We can talk about practice.
Talk about practice, not a game.
Yeah, and let's say the stupid stuff that he said. I mean, it really felt fake. It felt like this was like run out there and stir up some bull crap, so we can just move on and talk about anything other than this standing, kneeling, whatever political thing that we got going on. So it was really, really, because I didn't even realize what had been said. I didn't know anything was going on until I got home, and I had to turn on the site in Buccaneers Thursday night, and I'm turning on to see this fake ass, whack ass apology that I was like, what even got said?
What do you do? Yeah. And then you watch that and it's even funnier.
Yeah. And then you listen to it and you're like, this is just plain dumb.
We talked about that earlier, man. Mm-hmm. My biggest thing about the Cameron Newton thing is He's been in the league 5-6 years.
Yeah.
He was at Auburn
Long
before
enough.
that. He was in Gainesville before that. There is absolutely no way this is the first time that a woman has asked him an X and O question about football.
Yeah.
No,
I don't buy it.
I don't either. There is no way that all of a sudden this is it's funny. It's funny to hear a woman. This is Odell Beckham. I told you guys before about Odell. Odell, go out and change the narrative because Richard said too much. You got to make it about you guys versus the NBA.
Yeah.
This is Cameron doing what they do.
Yeah.
They just need to. I'm telling you, man, it goes back to my big drum that I keep banging on. CTE is a very scary thing to the NFL. Anything to not talk about that. That's why you can stand, you can kneel, you can cross your legs, you can play a ukulele, you can do anything you want to during the national anthem. And that's the really interesting thing about what's going on with Kaepernick, Edgar Bennett, the guys that really feel this stuff. Because these have been issues that black athletes have been talking about since the 60s. Not NFL athletes, but black athletes. This is nothing new, man. This did not just crop up because Donald Trump won the presidency, no matter how much his supporters think that's what's going on. That's not what's going on. Edgar Bennett's been talking about this stuff well back into the Obama days. The one dude whose name I cannot remember because I'm an idiot, that literally sat through every anthem for his entire 16-year NBA career. This stuff's been going on forever. The fascinating thing about the NFL right now, man, is they are so desperate for distraction that now they let them have the podium.
Yeah.
Now you can't shut them up. And you've given this like platform to people that are really serious about this stuff, and you need them now because anything but science, anything. And the reason I keep saying that is because every time one of these stupid stories pops up, it's within 5 days of a new CTE result coming out.
Yep.
It's like that's driving them nuts. Y'all saw they yanked the funding for the research. As soon as 118 out of 119? NFL's done giving you money for that. We were paying you for the results, not the test.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Every bit of this. And again, I was talking to my brother about it, man. I want to make that clear. That is not what Kaepernick's doing. It's not what Bennett's doing. I truly believe those guys are sincere as all get out. I really think they are. This stuff with Colin Kaepernick is very real to him. But the league would never, that you wouldn't hear anything about it. He'd be gone and he'd be out of the headlines, except they need him.
Yeah.
They need him, man. It's just that's how media works. Whatever the media talking about, that's not what's going on. And that can be conspiracy theorist if you think, but some of us did not need Donald Trump to be elected to stop trusting the media. We were doing that a long time ago. But I'm totally with the man on Cameron Newton. I thought the apology was fake. I thought that the kerfuffle was more fake than that. I thought that the apology was at least good to get him, a reality show eventually or something like that. But there's no way this is the first time a woman has asked you a genuine strategic football question, and all of a sudden now in 2017 it's the funniest thing you've ever heard in your life. Ha ha. It's all rubbish. I completely agree. It's him doing his Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady had to take a dive for 2 summers, and Cameron Newton is probably the second most famous quarterback in the league. Aaron Rodgers is fantastic, but and everybody knows Aaron Rodgers, but I don't know. It'd be one of those 2 guys. And Aaron Rodgers has already done his thing because Aaron Rodgers is doing the Colin Kaepernick thing. He was big time on what was going to happen, what he believed was going to happen, or what he was going to do himself during the anthem. He's already done his thing. All right, Cam, give us something. I think you've done all right. Got to give us something, Cam. Okay, sure.
It's like, and it's not even something that was heard walking down the hall or off the cuff. It was like cameras are on and everything.
Sure.
And he's just like staring right down. I'm like, and it's this fake thing with Dan and Yogurt gonna cut his sponsorship. Like, man, they were probably getting ready to get rid of him anyway.
Yeah, if that deal wasn't
they've
working,
run its course.
Yeah, if that deal wasn't working, it's all good. Everybody wins that way.
I don't eat Dan and Yogurt. I like Yo Play anyway.
Can dig it.
I like that Yo Crunch the best.
Yeah. Well,
with the Nestle Crunch and the strawberry.
Yeah, my thing with the Dannon sponsorship, it goes back to what do we talk about? What did we sit on the show and say about, well, Jamel Hill's going to get fired? No, she's not. If she doesn't cost ESPN any advertising money, she's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
If Dannon decides they don't want to be the sponsor of the guy anymore, that's their decision. They get to decide that, man. It's like, dude, this is just the way it works.
In October month, no less.
People make decisions. They make decisions. This is what happens. It's completely within, because that's what I use. No, it's not a fireable offense. That's not your call. Do you sign paychecks that say Dannon Yogurt Company LLC on them or whatever the name is? No, then it's not your call.
Yeah.
Pipe down, Shannon Sharp.
Doing business as.
Seriously.
Yeah, and then Shannon Sharp gonna
Not your call.
get on TV and pull out his black and mild and talk about being down with the Henny, like, and people acted like he was the new coming of the Black Messiah. It's like, what got said that was so groundbreaking and
Revelatory.
motivational?
Yeah, it's like, I don't get it. I've seen Shannon do way better things on that show before. Like the best one,
You can even understand him.
my favorite one recently is him and Eric Dickerson just sitting there doing this. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it, because it was about Brady and the flag and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And literally, this is a subject on which Skip Bayless will hang himself. So they let him. That's the best thing they've ever.
not
Just
gonna help
sit
you.
there. Don't say a thing. Just sit there and let him talk. It's what I keep saying. It's going to happen too. Call me Nostradamus. I got to move this over here because it's blacking my beautiful face.
Oh, geez.
Shaved all my face off so I can be pretty. And this danged old bottle with a brewer on it. Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's what the people come here for. That's it right there, man. The thing about the Brady and the protest and all that stuff, you can't, he's going to just, I'm sorry, the point, I was going to switch off of that. That is what's going to happen. If Major League Baseball doesn't wait until Pete Rose is dead to put him in the Hall of Fame, it will need to be an incredibly vindictive commissioner that does it. As I'm telling you, if y'all think that Michael Jordan Hall of Fame speech is salty, wait till Pete gets a microphone, and they'll sit back and let him just bury himself.
Oh yeah.
Just bury himself. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Let him go. Put him in, let him go, and we'll be done with it. Because he will make
See.
such.
happy?
That's the thing. It's like, hey, all right, Pete, you're in. Fantastic. We will never see you here again. Because he'll make such a horse's ass of himself, he won't come back around. They're supposed to love me. I'm Charlie Hustle. I'd let him. I mean, first of all, I'd let him in because it's just stupid not to. And I get tired. We talk about this every Hall of Fame year. Bonds and Rose, it's like, just let's talk about the guys that are getting in.
Yeah, I think as long as Johnny Bench is alive and on, has the level of respect with the players committee that allows players in, he'll have to go first, and Pete will have to still be around for that to happen. It won't happen while Bench is still alive. And I'm not looking. I don't want Bench to go anywhere anytime soon. So let's just,
Yeah, I've got no interest in my interest in Pete Rose going to the Hall of Fame is merely as bratty as I just suggested that it was. I just can't wait to see him.
Just want to see
I can't wait to see him show everybody what he really is. The guy is such a tool bag. I just am looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But the thing about he and Bonds, I don't know why which the Bonds people don't really care anymore because they know he doesn't need it. Pete doesn't need it either. I just don't get it.
Man, it's just fun to watch the Pete Roses, the Skip Baylesses, even nowadays the Cam Newtons. Just get out there and just give yourself enough rope to hang yourself.
Yeah, it's like, man, the Cam thing. That felt like TV to me, man. All that felt really fake. And some of the guys do and some of the guys don't. It reminded me, we talked about this before too, it reminded me a lot of Odell. I mentioned it earlier, but when Odell got out and swerved it to, why do basketball guys make so much money? It's like, that was a paid-for speech. Roger Goodell might as well have been sitting by him with his arm around him.
Yeah.
Where with some guys, I think all that stuff with, what's his name, Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger, it's fake. That stuff is so fake, man.
Yeah.
Antonio's just trying to get paid. That's how you get attention. If you're not a quarterback, you go out and make a complete brat of yourself. That's how people get paid, man.
Yep.
Oh, you think Richard Sherman's rich? Richard Sherman is a genius. He is just genius enough to know how to play that Dion playbook. He's a smart guy, man.
So, there was a pay-per-view tonight that we just sat down and watched for some reason. Hell in a Cell was tonight, and I don't know. It's so early after the show. I don't like to call any show bad just the second it's done. I mean, it's just kind of uneventful snoozer is what my review is. Kind of like, there was a few matches where it's kind of like, man, I'm getting tired watching this.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just felt real detached for most of it. Kendo sticks, but I felt really detached for most of it. And it's like, boy, that's just not good. That's not a good thing. Maybe, I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's the show. Sorry, I got to move this back over so we can
maybe
see what was what.
Wasn't moving the Usos and New Day off of the pre-show to only put them in the opening match really felt like maybe that wasn't such a promotion when you're going to kick off the show with such a high mark, such a good match, and then just this, kind of a couple of duds after it was like, well, maybe it wasn't such a good idea to kick it off with them. And so I liked that match a lot. Thought it was really good, but it was kind of like, you know, it's just kind of dumb to have Hell in a Cell be a tag match. So
I agree.
why do this?
As much as I love tag team matches, I don't like them in cages. I totally agree.
Yeah, it's
And I mean, I guess logistically, I understand book ending the show with the cell matches, but I'm kind of with you. I think it would have been better to do that in the middle.
yeah.
Somewhere in the I just think it would have flowed better and felt better. And it was redemptive. It just was this like boiled down ECW style. I mean, I get it. God, what else can they do? They've already done everything 3 times, but it was, it just wasn't. I didn't quite get into it, and that stinks. Maybe that's more on me than them. But it just felt like, I don't know, man. Just again, kendo sticks. For the love of God, do something else.
Yeah. They used plenty of them,
Yeah.
and they did try some new stuff tonight. They had a really neat spot with one of the Usos. I can't tell you the
I'm
names.
bad about that too. I do not know.
Like pinned in the corner with the kendo sticks being like a little bar.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that too. That was
Dang.
cool, man.
So that was something interesting and new, and a unicorn popsicle looking kendo stick was
Yeah.
different, but not different enough for it to be like, oh yeah, that's groundbreaking.
I also like Big E hulking up. Big E had like his one like pissed off
Yeah.
spot where it was all like, "You about to die," and it was just
Oh, yeah.
there's something cool about this dude in this like pink and light blue. I love stuff like that. Like I'm a huge fan of the androgynous characters who are murderers, like the like Adrian Street. And you know,
Yeah.
guys like that. I love that kind of thing. I was a huge fan of like Kurt Angle, who is like this squeaky clean, red, white, and blue, good
Yeah.
guy next door dork who could absolutely murder you. I just think
Yeah.
I like that way better than the Brock Lesnar tough, Brock Lesnar strong. I mean, I get it.
All the time.
That's really him.
There's no other side to that coin.
Exactly. I like it so much better when you get. I love that kind of stuff. Like we were talking about the thing, like the Fashion Files, I'm jumping way ahead. But when the Ascension show up, the idea of the Ascension looking that way and being a comedy act, I freaking love. Dude, at least it's something for them to do, and it's
Yeah.
something different. I think that's awesome. Our other one was Bailey being Sister Abigail. And just don't change her a bit. We talked about it a
Yeah.
long time ago, man, about how hilarious Bray Wyatt's entrance would be with those ridiculous things flapping around to that song. But seriously, man. But it's like Bailey as Sister Abigail would be funny. You know, it's like, yeah, they're going to repackage Bailey and make her Sister Abigail. Better yet, they don't change a thing. That would just be hilarious, man.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I hated to not like that better because I'm glad they had that such a good series, and I'm glad the Usos are doing. I've wanted to like the Usos forever. This is really neat. They got that cool series.
So the SmackDown tag belts, like the Raw Women's title
It is.
this time last year, like going back and forth. Like, stop doing
You're
that.
just there, 5-time champions, and it's like that just doesn't mean anything. That hurts to hear. It's like
They're 5-time champions with hardly a significant run in the 5.
exactly 5-time champs in what a 16-month span. Yeah, you're right. It's like I hate that. I don't like that stuff at all, man. Speaking of things I don't like at all, Randy Orton
Oh Jesus!
had another match with Rusev, which was much better than their
goodness.
first one. How could it not be?
Yeah.
But again, it wasn't terrible. It just was what it was. But I did finally find out what the difference between heel Randy Orton and babyface Randy Orton is, and it's that when he's a babyface, he walks to the ring a little quicker.
helps.
So it's like, hey, look at that. He's
Yeah.
actually really huffing it down there, man.
Makes a big difference.
It does, man. Yeah, that like stroll I hated. Like, would you get to the ring already? You're going to bore me enough once you get in it.
For Christ's sake,
Good Lord.
just get down there.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, it's one of those kind of feuds where you're kind of like, what is this even doing? This isn't helping anybody. Why?
I completely agree.
Why?
It's like, we are doing this for nothing. I
Further-
totally agree.
Making Rusev the SmackDown's Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, we'll get there because they got both of them. Both
Yeah.
of SmackDown's resident jobbers got tonight.
Yeah, that's kind of saw that one coming.
Absolutely. On the subject of SmackDown residents, man, SmackDown's resident Golden Boy, which I love because we talked about it, man. J-Rad and I discussed this. The internet melted down because he's being targeted and they're not being nice to him and they're going to bury him. Vince shouldn't bury him. He's got so much talent. Well, Baron Corbin's the U.S. champ now, and you got two people right here in
Yeah.
front of you that aren't surprised a bit because we pegged it pretty much 3 months ago. As soon as Corbin got in trouble, it's like he's gonna get in Randy Orton trouble, y'all.
Yeah,
You're gonna hear internet clatter, and then he's gonna wind up being given a championship. Well, it should have been the world title. Yeah, that's Roman Reigns' punishment. Roman Reigns failed his drug test.
Failing up mentality. Of
Absolutely.
WWE politics.
Absolutely. The guys that we like get taken care of. You know what's coming. That's that. It was, I mean, you knew that was coming. And basically the whole, like, well, Ty Dillinger's getting in there. It's like, well, cool. That means that AJ didn't have to do the job.
Yeah, that's why he's in there.
That's exactly what it means. You're totally right, man. It's like, this is stupid. We were discussing the hilarity of how unfortunate it is that a guy that wrestles as the perfect 10 is given that ring jacket. That's just really unfortunate, man. It's like Harrison Bergeron, where they try and like lump this great physical specimen, so they like weigh him down with weights to make everybody equal. So you take the perfect 10, put him in the worst ring jacket ever. Like, we got to make this a fair fight, Ty. We got to bring you back down a little bit.
Come on, brother.
Come on, brother. You're too good, man. I would ask for your opinion. I would ask for your opinion on the U.S. Championship match, but it was awful.
No, it just wasn't very good.
It's Baron Corbin. All of his stuff is awful, including his new music.
Yeah,
it's terrible. And the one thing I liked about him, they changed. We talked about it. I loved like the red lights during his entrance. I thought that was super cool. Yeah. I missed that. I'm wondering if they got rid of it because of Gender's like little lotus flower thing, because that is super cool looking. I'm like, well, it's not that similar. You could have left Baron with his red light, his Amsterdam, his Amsterdam prostitute entrance.
Turn on the red light.
Man, seriously, man. His Roxanne. Oh, it'd be great if he came down to Roxanne. Natty and Charlotte were next.
That was good. I enjoyed that. I liked it a lot. I thought, I didn't see it ending the way it did. That was kind of weird, but it was a way. That's how I saw the championship match ending. Like, she can win and still lose. So everybody was on the internet this week just trying to start the rumor of the Carmella cash-in. I didn't want to see that at all, because they were trying to say, well, Charlotte will win to have Carmella cash in on her. Like, as long as she loses that cash-in, then fine. But yeah, that's a feud that nobody cares to see.
I completely agree.
Carmella and Charlotte at Starrcade.
Yeah, I don't need to see any Charmella.
No, thank you.
I got no time for that. And I also, I like the SmackDown belt staying with the workers. I'm very, very cool with that. It was cool. I'm with you. It's kind of like the complete opposite of when we were talking about, this is a while back, but when you have Alexa and Sasha, I'm not really into either one of them. Well, with Natty and Charlotte, I love both of them, so I'm really not a good person to ask for an objective opinion on anything they do, because I like both of them so much. I'm just like, well, I'm shaded. But that was cool. I dug it. And then you went from there to Mahal and Nakamura.
Yeah. And I just thought, at first I thought that this match was going to be a Hell in a Cell match. I thought, why is this going to be the first Hell in a Cell to end on a DQ? And then turns out that neither one of those things happened. It was a regular match and didn't end the way I thought it was going to. I thought that all the Singh brothers' interference, all the Jinder Mahal, tactics at the end of the match, I thought this was going to be the one time that he gets called on it and Nakamura wins but loses. So, and neither one of those happened. So it's further just killing Nakamura on SmackDown.
It's one of those things where I don't even get upset about it anymore, because it's just become such a joke now that Barry AJ, Barry Nakamura, that's just what they do. That is just what they do, man. It's like whenever you basically take Shinsuke Nakamura and you look at the rivalries and the feuds they put him in, he's jobbing to Baron Corbin. But it's his championship shot to lose clean to Jinder Mahal. I mean, that's all he's being used for, man. It's just a rib. It's just a rib on the internet kids that lose their mind and get all meltdown over Nakamura losing. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't expect anything from Nakamura. And it's weird. I don't know if I'd mentioned this to you before or not. I finally figured out why I'm okay with whatever WWE wants to do with Shinsuke Nakamura, and here's why.
Okay.
For $9.99 a month, you can have New Japan World and watch all the greatest stuff he ever did. That's not it, actually.
Yeah.
The reason I'm okay with it is because I realized that we were talking about this whenever it was first like, you think Nakamura will beat Jinder Mahal for the belt? And the first time I didn't, and this time I didn't either, because it's just a rib, man. It really feels that way.
Yeah.
But I realized somewhere along the way that I already got everything that I wanted out of Shinsuke Nakamura coming to America, not WWE, because I didn't want anything from WWE, but with the Sami Zayn match and getting my action figure. I realized that was it. That is literally the only reason I wanted him to come. That's all I wanted. I wanted an action figure that I could afford, and I got it, and it's like awesome. As soon as they let him go, he can go back to New Japan. I'll be just fine.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do with him between.
Be sooner than later.
Yeah, I think so, because it's just the way people are booked. Like, oh, it was very unsuccessful. Of course it was. I mean, when you build it to fail, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's cool. That's all I wanted. So I realized, so that's because why don't you want him to win the championship? And it's like, well, that's why, because it's gonna suck anyway. It don't matter.
You know, it's just like move it along.
I don't like Nakamura being booked for belts anyway. I don't like what they're doing with him, period. You know, we've talked about it, man. It's just, I know, God forbid, you mentioned that he was somebody before you got a hold of him, but I think it would have been so much more interesting to book that guy in those matches. And the reason I say that is you bring him over and you have him work with Cena, because that Cena match was great. You have him work with Randy Orton because that's like his dream. That's who he wants to work with. But just every once in a while, peppered in here and there, it's all good. Eventually, you give people the AJ Styles match they all want, and then you have him challenge Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
And when Brock beats him, then it's meaningful. It's actually a big, huge kind of cool thing. And they know each other because they worked in New Japan together.
Yep.
I think they were tag champs for a while or something weird like that.
Cool.
But that's a cool thing because then you've done something. You've got somebody built. And, I don't mean to say like use them on TV. Like, that's what I would have done. I'd have said, have fun surfing. We'll see you in 3 months.
Yeah.
Because I think then you keep him special. And special guys don't need belts. Some guys just don't need championship belts. Bray Wyatt doesn't need a belt. Nakamura doesn't need a belt. John Cena does not need a belt, for the love of God. I hope you remember it. I don't think they will because what is up with everybody buying this retirement crap?
I don't get it.
People are so weird. It's like, y'all, they haven't officially said Undertaker retired yet.
Yeah.
But this is ridiculous, man. That's silly. But I'm sure he'll come back and get 17.
Johnny.
And then he can go to being what I think he should be. But yeah, special attraction guys, you don't need championships on them. That's a huge mistake.
Yep.
And Nakamura,
maybe they'll figure that out one day.
Not yet, for real. Nakamura should have been a special attraction, or I would have liked him better if he was. But either way, it's okay because I got my action figure. We got our action figures. We're good.
Another one, another cool one coming in the next NXT set that I don't necessarily have to have, but it's still cool.
Of Shinsuke or just in general?
Yes.
Oh man,
Yeah.
they're killing me with all the Nakamura's, man.
Yeah.
Killing me. They doing Tiger Stripe?
Well, that's the one with the jacket.
The new face and that's right. I'm sorry. I remember you showing me that now, man. Yeah, that one and then the Hasbro one, which is kind of killing me because I really do. We love that set. So it's like, oh man.
God.
Yeah, that Kevin Owens is killing me too because I keep holding out. I know exactly what Kevin Owens I want, but every time I see that one, I'm like, and then the Universal Championship one hurts too because it's good.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, why y'all doing this to me, jerks?
Yep.
So Jinder Mahal and Shinsuke Nakamura stunk because that's just what they do. It stunk. I mean, it was what it was.
Just as expected.
Totally, but you get your nice clean win, and I don't care how many times you tell the announcers to say, well, the Singh brothers might not have been down here, but no, he beat him clean, let it go. We all get it. It's fine. Nakamura.
They were gone from the ringside for a whole 10 seconds.
It's just like, just stop, y'all. He beat him clean, let it go. Please, God, because I don't want him wrestling again. Hear me, Finn and Bray? And it hurts to say that because I love Finn and Bray, and it's not that they're wrestling again. It's just like, say it with us, friends. Bray Wyatt needs to win one of them. You got to put Bray over somewhere for the love of Pete. But that's okay because Bayley's going to come down, and Bayley's going to be the manager, and maybe she can do promos for Finn Balor. But people hate her promos too, so I guess that wouldn't work.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an improvement.
Yeah, man. Who was next? Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. I think that Bayley's promos are way better than people think they are. They just, what do you give her? You know, I mean, and I guess the only reason I'm sensitive about it is I hear people defend Alexa Bliss all the time. Well, this is your life wasn't her fault, and it wasn't. It was terrible. terrible material. But when you're given this crappy underdog, you know what Sami Zayn did? Do that. He can pull it off. That is not an easy thing to be. The Rocky the Rocky at the end of Rocky 1 always is very hard to pull off.
Yeah.
Very hard to pull off. It's why he didn't lose in the second one. Wouldn't it be great if they got to Rocky 3 and he still hadn't won a match? Yeah, why they keep giving me these fights, man? It's just ridiculous, man.
I'm selling these tickets, brother.
Oh, Paulo, why you keep beating me up, man? You know I can't beat you.
I don't care about promos, but
I genuinely don't either. It just frustrates me when people that do kill Bailey endlessly. And it's just more of that. Everyone should be a heel. Bailey should be a heel. They should all be heels. Let's make them all heels. Okay. I think it's great to do all of them. Instead of trying to make them all be The Rock, make them all be Kevin Owens. And what I mean is you keep trying to put them in this deliver your lines and say it this way and be 50-50 and the crowd will cheer you but they'll boo you when we want them to and la-di-da. Absolutely nobody told Toronto to boo The Rock. They just did it.
yeah.
And The Rock was good enough in the ring to be like, or basically he looked over at Hulk and saw Hulk's gears turn and was like, right on, let's do it. And they were both smart enough to spin that thing, man. It's got nothing to do with, probably just kick it. Just do your thing. Like, for me, what I would most love to see in the whole wide world is every time Jason Jordan goes out there and does the squeaky clean, good guy, revving up. It's gonna be awesome, guys, because I'm gonna put my nose to the grindstone. I'm gonna work and be the best champ you've ever had. And every time they boo him, just slather that stuff on. I mean, make the cream cheese so thick you can't even see the bagel anymore, man. Because if they're booing, screw them. At least they're making noise. I would be the most simpering, ridiculous, saccharine-y, sweet good guy I could possibly be. And that's what Bailey should be too. But the problem is they just want to over and over and over and over and over again book her to lose. It would be so much fun for her to be Edge and Christian. Just this complete dork that everybody hates. So what? That's the character. I mean, what's Bailey's heel going to be?
Well, I think everybody's been saying for months it's got to be Sasha.
No. I mean, when she does a heel turn, what's Bailey's heel character is what I mean.
I don't think she knows.
I don't either. I have absolutely no ideas. I don't. There is nothing that seems like a good idea in that for that character.
A ramped up, obsessive Mickey James style fangirl, which is kind of the same as her face character.
And it got over so well that can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
can't wait to see that because you've already tried that. It didn't work. I would just go like cream cheese. That's what I would do. I think that'd be so funny and so awesome, and it would be such a prick thing to do that half the crowd would love you anyway. But Jason Jordan's the guy for that. I mean, it's just watch old Kurt Angle videos and just be that guy. That would be so funny, man. Because the thing about Jordan is his matches are great. Everybody says that about Gable now. It's like, boy, you're not watching the other cat, are you? Because they're both good in the ring, man. They're both real good. Oh, the storyline's stupid. Yes, it is. Most of the roster is saddled with stupid storylines, man. I hate that Kevin Owens is such an anomaly because no matter what they give him, he's great. And you can't really replicate that, so it's unfair for me to use him as the example. But, man, I wish they would try to write more of that stuff. And really not even write more of it. Just, like, sit down with the kids and be like, what do you think of this? This is where we're thinking of going. What's your input? That would be freaking awesome if guys could say what they want to say, if it was their own lines, or at least the way you would say it. How would you say, I am going to do this and this to person A and B? It sound a little more real. That'd be awesome. Hopefully we'll get that in Billy Corgan's NWA.
If Kevin Owens had a match tonight.
He did. We're getting there. We got one more. The one more in between was Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. And my little check mark there is because I thought Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler by a million light years was the best match on this card. It wasn't close. They were the best. And it was Dolph Ziggler doing what he does. It's the Rusev Bray Wyatt thing, but Ziggs is a little bit more useful because he is the guy that everybody checking in goes through first. And it's because, ask anybody, he's the best worker in that damn company. Ask them. They'll tell you. There is a reason that everybody handpicks that guy first. It's great. It was an awesome match, man. Bobby Roode's robe was so cool.
Yeah,
it's silly, but God, he looked good tonight. It was a cool match, man.
It's one of those kind of, it doesn't dawn on you until you like getting in the ring. You kind of notice like there's something different. Oh, that robe.
Yeah.
it's simple and awesome at the same time.
It totally took. I had the exact same reaction. It took me a second. Then when it dawned on me, it just dawned on me. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
But
Right on.
we're Bobby Roode freaks anyway, so it was nice to see him, and it was cool, man. And I do absolutely love the. Excuse me, storyline wise, it's very smart to have the no frills, no entrances, la di da. That's a great rivalry to do that with. You've just been cutting that promo and doing that thing, and Bobby does glorious. It's fantastic. So then you come out and your music cuts off, screens go blank, and you walk out. That was cool. That was cool.
I'm hoping that's where that will stop, and not that they won't keep doing that. Just where the entrances will stop.
Imitations. Yeah, I totally agree.
That's what everybody was on the internet trying to. I get that rumor started. Like, well, yeah, they'll be in Chicago soon. He's gonna do Punk there. Like, no.
I'm with you.
No.
I hope.
No.
I hope they're done. I really very much hope that's done because I just think this is way more interesting. And also, we talked about it, man. The DX one. First things first. For what I wish wrestling would be heading to, that's Seth Rollins' promo. Mm-hmm. It's not that Ziggler didn't do a good job. It's just that Seth Rollins. We talked about it, man. That freaking commercial for 2K18. Is the best angle they've done in 15 years, and I wish that they would make that something a little bit more for real. It was just a TV commercial, and that's very frustrating. Hopefully, because just a video game cover last year got Bill Goldberg a championship, so hopefully they'll wake up. 2K18's not selling that well. Let's get it fired up. Let's burn it down. But that would just be totally awesome. But I thought that the DX thing was great, and I'm with you. It's an awesome note to finish on. Let's stop. Let's not do the entrance thing anymore. Let's just this is it. Come out and do my thing. It's all good. I could have done without the. Sweet Chin music reference, only because that stuff is so old. I mean, not just with him, but between him and Miz still doing Bryan Danielson's moves, it's like, this is getting old. Please stop this.
We get it. Move on.
For real. It's like, this is awful. Stop. But that match was real cool. I thought, by a million miles, that was my favorite match on the card. Natty and Charlotte in the tag matches would be right after that. Natty and Charlotte would be second. It's not that I didn't like the tag match. It's just that it was very, very good. It was just that you could tell, what are we going to do we haven't done, guys? It's nobody's fault. It's the same thing that I have with TLC, too.
People were chanting, we want tables in the first match. You're like, God, we got to save something for the end of the show.
Shane's on the card. You know what's going to happen with the table. But
that's somebody else.
Yeah, that's somebody else, baby. But no, it was cool. It was like Hell in a Cell for Pete's sake. TLC 2, which TLC 2 is very cool, but with all the run-ins and all the orchestration, you could tell it was the third one, and that's nothing wrong with that. It was just that WrestleMania 2000 is my absolute favorite, and then TLC 1 is right behind it. Those are awesome. But yes, Kevin Owens had a match tonight.
I thought it was, he made it as good as it could be.
That's exactly how I feel about.
And it's not saying a whole lot, but
it's what you can do, totally.
Yeah. So it wasn't his fault, but shackling him with Shane, I was just kind of like, man, he deserves better. But what are you gonna do? And it was basically, everything, every box was checked. As Shane wants to jump off the thing, fine, let him do it.
Everything I hate about every Shane McMahon match ever, he got it. He managed to get it in because that's Shane McMahon.
And I guess the thing, that thing we didn't see coming was Sami Zayn at the end.
I did love that because I had no idea.
That was cool.
No idea, man.
I just had figured that Kevin was going to get out of the way and Shane could land on his safe crash pad.
That's right.
But then you realize after the fact, because due to terrible camera work, that Sammy had helped him off. So I was like, okay, well, cool. Something different. So it's unexpected, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
But I thought it would have been a little bit funnier to let Shane get strapped to the board, then pin him. But
I love that idea. He said it during the show, and I'm like, that is exactly what they should have done: is stabilize the net and put him on the old board, and then all of a sudden you throw Kev on top of it, man. Falls count anywhere at any time, regardless of circumstance. That was a great idea, man. I wish they'd have done that.
Because what was supposed to be so new about falls counting anywhere in a Hell in a Cell match? I thought that was inherently from the first one, falls were counted on top of the cell. I don't know. Anyway, so that was the show, and now it's just kind of fun to see where what'll come next.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to see. I'm glad that I was telling Jared, man, kind of in the Bo Dallas Miz Taraj way. There's some guys I just like to see getting work. I mean, if they don't want to leave the company, then by golly, I want them to get some work. So, Sami Zayn doing anything, I'm excited about. We had an idea, and I hate it. I know that whoever goes back to NXT first, is going to be a laughingstock and a joke and la-di-da. I still don't think it's that bad of an idea.
Yeah.
Because the creative freedom at NXT, some people are into that. Some people are not looking to be Bob Holly and just have a job for 25 years and get the check. Some people are. Some people aren't. Like the creative liberty and making up your own crap, that's appealing to some people in the industry. There's room for everybody. But for people where that's appealing, them going back and getting work is awesome. Just sitting in the back and not doing anything stinks. So I love the idea of Adam Cole winning the title and talking a bunch of crap about la-di-da and, the place we used to be was so much better and this is ridiculous and by God we've already taken over and this is the invasion and woohoo. And you have Sami Zayn, another old Ring of Honor guy, to come back and challenge him for the belt because part of it, Sami Zayn versus Adam Cole would just be stinking awesome. That's part of it is just pure selfishness, but I just don't mind the idea of there being a door to go back and have people work there because it would just be kind of cool, particularly with something like a tag division. Is if everybody comes up and then you got to bring all these new tag teams, that's cool, but bringing somebody back to like beat them up and get the belts and then shine them up and lose to them, like if the Ascension fought the Authors of Pain, that would have been awesome. Who wouldn't have liked to have seen that? Yeah, because that would have been cool. I hope that somebody does that soon. I don't know. It's certainly I could see it not being for just anybody. Not everybody should do it, but anybody feeling it, I wish they would do that because it's better than getting released, man. Or if that's what you want, you should do it. I like the idea of as many options for as people as possible. I
just don't know that they would let somebody go back on a full-time basis. You can go back and do your little one-shots here and there, but I think you would have to leave the company first, then come back, Galloway style, which I don't think that was ever his plan, but I think that's the only way they would let somebody.
Yeah, probably. But I hate
non-injury or leaving the company. Yeah. Go back down. I just don't know if they would see that as what they want NXT to do.
Yeah, I don't either. I would hope so because it would seem to me that putting Sami Zayn on NXT would be a lot more beneficial for the network than letting him go back to Ring of Honor.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's not going to benefit you at all. Because the second El Generico shows back up in Ring of Honor, by God, you'll hear about it.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if they would do it, but I love the idea, mainly just because, you call people up so quickly that then that roster gets depleted. And it's just, considering they treat it like such a territory, that's what happened to territories. Guys would leave for 6 months, they'd come back. They'd leave for 3 months, they'd come back. It's freaking awesome. It's totally awesome. And then the problem with the one-shots is they only show up to lose. And that sucks. Or if you get to come down for 3 months, you can win the title, and Bo Dallas is a 2-time NXT champ, baby, and then lose it on the way out the door. That would be kind of cool, man.
So that's what's up.
That's how we do.
Cool stuff to see what's going down.
Yeah, man. Cruddy show. I hate to be that way, but it was.
Kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, man.
A little, well, that's probably been better episodes of SmackDown recently. This show
might have been. It's true. That might have been the case, man.
It's never like seeing Shane in the main event.
I'm the same. I'm not a Shane McMahon guy because to me he's the worst of the worst of the worst part timers. Well, he always puts guys over. Yeah, but what does beating him mean?
Yeah,
I still hate him. I don't like Shane for a couple of reasons. From a WWE standpoint, I don't like him because people murder Stephanie all the time. We hate part timers and they took their ball and went home. Yeah, well, Shane's the one that quit.
Yeah.
And then he came back and you kiss his ass because he jumps off of tall things. On that subject, I thought that's what was wrong with the indie guys and the ECW guys back in the days. The flippy floppy stuff and they just do all these stupid bumps. I just described Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Why do you love this guy? And I was telling Jared, and stuff like that, like the Hell in the Cell match, it makes me uncomfortable, man, when guys are up on top like that because we ain't looking for nobody to die. I just want to watch the show, man. And it's just very frustrating. Undertaker talked about that after chucking Foley off at it made him nervous. is it's like, what's it going to take going forward?
Yeah.
What do people want to see? Well, Shane McMahon is literally that every match because it's not like he can fight. And that's what I said, all the things I hate about Shane McMahon matches. A is him being in them. B, he plays super tough guy way too often.
Yeah.
That like crawling away and kicking back. I mean, dude, like professional wrestlers don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So Super Mr. Turtle on his back, gonna fight you no matter what. It's just way too much for the boss's kid. Stop. You just I hate that. You know, I don't like when people act out of character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when smaller dudes like shrug people off. I don't like when Miss 5 Feet of Fury punches somebody in the face because y'all always talk about how little she is. Either stop talking about her size or have her throw elbows. Because I don't give a crap if she's 3.5 feet tall. If she hit me in the nose with an elbow, it would break my nose. It's an elbow for Pete's sake. I hate stuff like that. Either have her use her elbows or shut up about how tall she is. Stop it. I hate that. I don't like people. They're not doing her any favors.
I just don't want to watch the Hell in a Cell match and just be nervous that somebody is going to fall off the thing, have some type of gruesome injury.
Yeah.
Unless it's Sid Vicious, I don't want to see that.
It's like, man, as soon as they get, oh, how stupid are we going to end this one this time?
Yeah, maybe, Sid will explode or something.
Do you have any regrets? I wish my head had exploded. Huh? What? Huh?
What?
Sid? Oh, man, Sid.
Dead?
That's how we do.
So that's good.
We've both gone aground, so that's it.
We'll see you guys.
Take it easy, y'all.
All right.